So, all right. What's up, my boy?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on? So, yeah, I know we've been trying to connect for a while now, but we're here today. Gene, I'll let you introduce yourself. Everyone should know who I am. I'm Dominique Holiday, CEO of Holiday Systems Inc., business coach, business consultant, and I help develop companies to make way more money than they are making today. But let's go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get into some fun talking points.
Okay. I mean, with your introduction, mine's definitely gonna be a lot shorter. My name is Gene Petit. I was born in Haiti, raised in Miami and different parts of Florida. You would say that. And I'm in the military. Let's keep it simple. In the military.
And you're a fitness guru, I would say, or a junkie, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, I'm definitely. I wouldn't call myself a guru, just for the respect of the craft. I would definitely say I'm a fitness junkie.
Mm,
I've been into fitness since middle school, um, high school, wrestled, ran track, played basketball and always in the gym, right? And then once I graduated high school, I really got into the gym. So I've been in fitness for the last, you would say, 15 plus years.
mm, mm.
So I'm definitely a junkie. I'm definitely a fitness junkie. I love it. I love it.
So when I noticed, like you always been like a pretty stocky guy, right? But when you left on your last deployment and you came back, you were like cut and solid. You know, I came back, I was a little bigger. I guess I was a lot bigger when I came back, but you were bigger and you looked tighter. So what did you do on deployment that helped you with your body and tightening up some of the things that, some of the muscle groups, I guess.
Stress. So that's honestly, man. Deployment is especially in the last 2 years, man. The service members have been going through it. It's a lot going on out there. Um, so I left shore duty, right? And for people that don't know, that's where it's kind of like that time you get to more so like relax. So I was a recruiter in Jacksonville, Florida. So, I was lifting heavy and eating just as much, right? So you could pretty much say I had 3 years of like bulking, right? And then I moved to Virginia. I moved to Virginia and went on deployment 2 months later, right? So it was a 9 month deployment, and on deployment, you don't have the leisure to eat as freely as you can, right? Like not the McDonald's or the Chinese foods and all that stuff, right? So I was eating pretty clean, it was just chicken or beef, like carbs, and to get through the day, right? Like I had a pretty stressful deployment. I would say last deployment was the toughest one that I've had so far, right? It was my fifth deployment, and to get through most of my days, I had to hit the gym. Like I had to. So the consistency was on another level for sure. I was in the gym like 6, 7 days a week, So then you look at that, and then 9 months later, that's why you saw me looking like that because I shredded because I was already like fit and like stocky. But in that deployment, I lost like 15 to 18 pounds of like fat, you would say. So I was just cut up and I look good. I surprised myself.
Yeah, yeah. No, pause on that. 'Cause I'm gonna say you look good. You did look good. Pause. I'm gonna say pause, but yeah. So I noticed though when you came back, and I know I haven't been able to make it to Virginia, but we're gonna get a workout session in pretty soon. You're like 2 hours away from me now, so I do have a clip I want to show about fitness, and these guys go crazy in the gym. So let
Okay.
me pull this up here, and then I get your take on it. And they actually had an influencer come in and try their workout. So we're only gonna play the first minute of the influencer going into the gym, just to give a taste of what they do in the gym. Sorry, let's go ahead and start it here.
All right, guys. Today we're at the most dangerous gym in New Jersey.
Make pay respect, bro. Put it all on. Yeah. You came to my gym with a chain on, earrings. I should have really shot you. Why you should grab it? Why? No, who does it like that? You don't make no sense. Figure it out. No, I'm not. Life don't make sense. Press, 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 press. Jump, jump. Let's go.
Ice cream truck right now.
Yeah. That really makes the intro hard, bro. Just got a little beat to it.
Lucky he wanted to come out here and die today. That's what he said. He said, "I want to come out here and feel it." So I'm happy that you came out. I'm really happy that you know what, and you know what's funny, bro? You were the first influencer. We had like a couple like football players come in. We had a couple rappers come in. Never had an influencer hit me up and say, "Y'all want to train." I think everybody.
So I'm gonna stop it there because it's an hour-long video, but I'm gonna stop right there and see what you think about the gym. I know I want to go, but let's get your feedback on it.
I love it, but I do think I've seen some past videos of those guys, not this one. This is my first time seeing this one, but I can see like why people like kind of have certain like comments towards that. But I think, right, if anyone that's been in the gym for a very long time knows that like everybody works out different. Everybody gets motivated different, right? And those guys, they're not shy to say, "Hey, this is what we do here. This is how we work," and we're not forcing you to come here. You're wanting to come here out of your own free will, and you want to see, if you could do it. So for me, how I looked at that is he's seen something that he's interested in, that he saw was like, whoa, this is a little different, can I do it, right? And I think that's the main thing a lot of the times is the people that go there, they just want to know, can I make it through? And if you see that they're having a hard time, that's the goal. Like that's the whole point, is to push them past something that they've never done before, right? Like, because we don't work out the same like when we have a partner. Like you just don't. Most people just can't. Like you have to be very elite, like a high level professional to push yourself like that by yourself. Like a lot of the times you really need a gym partner. Like the best way, like I tell some of my clients, the best way to stay consistent is to have a gym partner. The reason why you're consistent is because I'm in your ear every day. I'm texting you, I'm calling you, I'm telling you to go in the gym, right? That's why you're consistent. That's why you pay me. But if I wasn't here, you probably would not be as consistent. If I'm not in the gym with certain clients, right? You probably wouldn't work out at that level, with this amount of effort, So I love it. I don't have any issues with it. It definitely make me feel like I want to see if I could go through that too. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely on the same type of time you on. Whenever I get some time, I definitely want to go and and see
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
So Haiti and Ankh, if you're watching, we got two people here that want to come try the gym out. So I think it's named Haiti and the older guy is Ankh. But I want to go. And it's funny that you say push to your limits or past your limits. Because a lot of people can't do that, even in business, right? Or entrepreneurship or anything. They are so fearful of failing or being embarrassed by the outside world, right? They don't want to shift their mindset into, oh, I can do anything. I need to push past my limits. I need to conquer my fear. Because, like when I went on deployment, everyone thought that I was scared to go to Afghanistan. No, I wasn't scared to go to Afghanistan. I was actually ready to go. I just didn't know I was going to Afghanistan. I thought I was going on a deployment that's like, Dubai or, somewhere
They
that's
hit they
nice.
hit you with the switcheroo.
Yeah, and then I wasn't even on a boat. I wasn't even on a ship. I was boots on ground. And I was like, oh wow. Now I was just like, you know what? It might be a good experience for me. And then when I came back home, that mindset to like just take every challenge on me because I was faced with a lot of challenges when I was gone. Just like you would say, like you relied on the gym. I relied on the gym. Even if I had 4 hours until the next work day, I would go to the gym for an hour, 2 hours. Just because you can't talk to anybody and you can't do anything. So the only thing for leisure is the gym. But yeah, that's an interesting take on that.
No,
But
I
we're gonna
think
get
you need fitness. Like you literally need to do everything you can to get as fit as you can because like that keeps you alive just legitimately, right? It's great for your mental health, for your physical health, right? The best thing you could do as you're getting older is to make sure you have a good amount of muscle mass. Like it's just the truth, right? Like you need muscle mass to help support your joints, right? Because if not, then you're gonna get to that point where you won't be able to walk anymore. And it's like I don't think people truly understand why fitness is so important because it's past just your body. Like it's for your mental. Like after you get done working out, during the workout, your body's going through it. You hate it, right? But an hour later, after you done showered, you feel amazing. You're happy, right? Your endorphins is going like you feel great, and that's because you got up and moved. Like it really matters. Like, and people just don't get it. And to explain in like more of what you had said, people don't push themselves past the limit because we've legitimately just have gotten like weaker, right? People are not willing to do the little things, right? It really won't take a lot for you to double whatever it is you're doing right now, right? For you to like any business ventures that you go into, it's not going to take much for you to double it cuz you have the vision, you're motivated and you're willing to do the work. Nowadays, people want the outcome, but they're not willing to do the work. Like imagine if you want to run a marathon, right? But you're not willing to put that year worth of training. It's just it doesn't make sense, right? And people are just lazy. I truly feel that like we're like lazy, It's just how it is.
Yeah, and I know I had another clip to go to, but I know I have another meeting that sticks. But we could keep this conversation going because it's interesting. So, just like you train individuals, right? I coach or consult on projects or whole companies, and that little thing of accountability goes a long way. So, like if you know you're going to have a call with an agenda and you have to have certain goals met before that call comes up, something in your brain says, I need to make sure that this gets done so I can accomplish what I want to accomplish. But if it was not me holding you accountable to the things that you have laid out, then it may go to next week and the next week and the next week. So I ask a lot of people, what is your goal with whatever you're doing? It could be a money goal, it could be a credit goal, it could be a housing goal. Like you have a goal that you're working towards, but we don't have to talk about that. But let's say if a person wanted to make $100,000, right? I asked them, where do you start? So I'm gonna ask you the same thing. If you wanted to make $100,000, where would you start? Would you start at the $100,000 or would you start at a dollar?
Interesting question, right? Because you have to start somewhere, right? I think you
Hmm.
can have the goal of 100,000 and understand that currently I only have $1, right? But that doesn't change the fact that my goal is 100,000. The $1 is just the first step, right? And I think that people a lot of the times they look at their goal like it's simply unreachable, but in reality, it's just one step away, you know,
Mhm.
and it could take you 1,000 steps, but you got to take the first step, and then the second, and then the third, right? So for me, right, my goal, if it would be to make 100,000, then the first step would start at the dollar, because I know the dollar will get me to 10. The 10 will get me to 100. The 100 will get me to 1,000, and then the 1,000 will get me to 10,000. The 10,000 will get me to 100,000, right? Because I know exactly what I would put that money in, to get the return that I needed to get. But I just know it'll take time. But good things takes time, and I'm okay with being patient and letting that happen.
Got you, got you. So I would, if you were a client, you sold a product or a service, I would say it doesn't start at the dollar. It starts at the value of what you can offer someone else, right?
Mhm.
So I always start at the end goal, right? So I say we want to make this $100,000. We don't just want to make a dollar. So how much value can you give to someone that at that price point that they'll buy it, right? So let's say if someone had a product or a service, their price was $2,500. Then we'll say, how many times do you have to make $2,500 to get to $100,000? And then they'll do the math, and they're like, okay, so now we know. Now let's scale it back. Do you want to make this in a year? Do you want to make this in 6 months? Or do you want to make this in 3 months? So let's start at the 3 months. Let's try to hit this in 3 months. And the reason being, if you say a year, you're not going to be as pressed to do it. You're not going to have that urgency. So if you start at 3 months, you can say, okay, let me try to make $35,000 in a month. Now that's your monthly goal. Now let's break that down into 2 week increments. Now it's $17,500. Now you know your goal is to make $17,500 in 2 weeks. And the mindset of continuous improvement is if you don't hit that, now you identify why you didn't. And then you keep getting better and keep getting better. But you see how it works, because if you don't put your goal into a more obtainable, relevant timeline, then you're just gonna keep. Some people just push it out, push it out. Well, I didn't hit it this year. Now you got to go through all of those problems and resolve them and figure out why didn't I hit $100,000 in a year when you should have been trying to hit it in 3 months or maybe even a month. I wouldn't tell anyone to try to make it in a day though. That's
You
crazy.
know, you know, I think that's very interesting, right? Because as you're explaining that, only thing that I was thinking about is perspective, right?
Mhm.
Because for you, as soon as someone said 100K, how do you make it? You instantly went to selling something, right? Because that's what
Mhm.
you do. You know what I mean? Right? Like that's your realm, business, sales, and and all that, right? For me, I never look at myself like a salesman. And I I feel like, me as a whole, is a business, but I always think in like an investment realm where it's
Mhm.
like my goal is never something that is super simple to get, right? Like it's because it's always just it's so big, right? But I started to get in investing about like 5 years ago. And one thing you learn is the power of compound interest, right? Not a trader, but an investor, right? Is knowing that like legitimately $100 for from 18 to 65 is over $1 million, right? It's just the math. It just makes sense, right? So for me, it's like if you're 18 and you're like, hey, how do you make $1 million, right? Or how are you gonna make sure you have $1 million when you retire? In my brain, I'm like, oh, you just invested. And here's, you could start with 10, you could start with 100. So the moment you start speaking about that, all I'm thinking about is I would never think of it like that, right? Because it's like because I never assume that I have something to sell, right? I always look at it like I have to take what I have and create to then make the 100K. So now if it's, hey, how do you make 100K? I could be like, hey, I I could take whichever earned income that I have and, put it in the SP and get 7 to 12% a year. And it's gonna take me this long to get it, right?
But
That's how
let me
I
ask you
I
this.
think that's
I got a
like
question for you.
pretty cool.
I got a question for you because I know I got like a minute. I want to get this question in before I jump off. So you don't look at yourself as a product or a service, right? But all of these things that you're doing, learning to invest, learning to about compound interest, and all of these things, your knowledge is a selling point. Your knowledge is a selling point. Fitness, investing, whatever it is in investing, it could be stock investment, it could be real estate investment. Someone doesn't know that, and just like you said, it's perspective, and also it's awareness. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't have awareness of different ways to make money, so they'll always say, well, I only have this. No, so in my world, I point out things, creative ways to think about, well, you could do this and you can still make this. So like from an investment standpoint, I have a system that I look at how long it takes for me to purchase, close, and have a house, and then start making the money off of that. It's called throughput.
Hmm.
But we're not gonna get into the technicals of that. We'll do that on another time. But yeah, I'm right at 6 o'clock. I gotta jump on this client call. But Gene, thank you. I know it was very short. And the next time that you will be on the panel with everyone, is what's today's date? Not
It's
this Monday,
uh
but the
the
next
following
Monday.
day, yep, the following
Yeah.
month. And
So
I should definitely be there. It's just with this military schedule, I
oh, I
never
understand.
know what this schedule really hold, but I'll definitely do everything I can to be there. It was great. Can't wait till next time.
All right. Thanks, bro. And I'll be in Virginia as soon as I can. Let's get a
Just let me
session in.
know. Just let me
All right,
know. For sure.